Hello, welcome,
Hi.
podcast 29.
Thank you for having me back.
We
I
missed
missed
you.
last January, so I just wanted to extend a really warm thank you to yourself and Katie for the last minute solve. Well, I wasn't actually feeling good and the podcast went amazing, so
We
congratulations.
got it all covered, but we
Yeah.
definitely missed having you on. It was weird not having you sitting beside me virtually across the
There's a
computer.
nice ring though to Katie and Katie.
Yeah, the Katie show, hey?
Katie show is good. But yeah, thank you. I missed it as well, but I wouldn't have been able to get through it and really appreciate the
100%.
support.
No worries at all. Welcome everyone, podcast 29. I was actually, when we were getting everything ready for this episode, I was sitting and thinking about it. I'm like, we've almost been like 30 hours of, well, I mean, we probably are over 30 hours, but I think of each show as an hour. I'm like, we're almost at 30 hours. That's wild.
That's incredible. It's gone by really fast, actually.
It has. Like, I remember getting to that 1 year mark and being like, wow, a year is done already. And then now we're like 2.5 years in, basically.
Yeah, and not only that, like looking back at all the things that we have done in all of those podcasts is incredible.
It's been unreal. Lots has kind of happened in the last little bit. So when we were thinking about what were we going to do for this show, it's kind of turned into a little bit of a mishmash. It's a little bit of everything. We're going to hit some up and coming events that are on the horizon. We just had Timmins over in Ontario this last weekend, so we're going to hit some of that stuff going on. And then coming up, I believe it's next month, like in March, I'm pretty sure, is Youth Challenge Nationals. And a lot of the provinces had their Youth Challenge provincials over the last few weeks. I know Alberta's was right at the beginning of February. So we're going to bring on some of the females that are going to nationals.
It's amazing.
It's
Yeah,
been
I mean,
like,
fast and furious pace now for everybody in the bowling community
yeah,
with open being done. A lot of the masters qualifying will, almost locked in for a lot of provinces here quite quickly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's guests.
yeah, me too. We can get started right away here with our first guest, giving us a little bit of an update here of things to come. Let's pull her in. Miss Stacy,
Hi, girls.
how's it going?
Hello.
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Congratulations on number 3.
I know. Can
Diamond
you
Ladies.
believe it?
It
I
feels like
can believe
not,
it.
yeah, I can believe it also. It feels like not that long ago, though, that we were like ramping up season 2 of Diamond Ladies. Like,
Oh, I know. It's kind of a, honestly, I think back to COVID times, obviously, when we were sitting around doing nothing and talking about could we build this, to that Monday night with Tracy at bowling. And I had my little green Strike It Rich sheet. And I was just like, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to work. And what do you think, Tracy? Who can we add? What can we do? And yeah, I have that little green sheet. Rich put it in a frame for me. So,
oh,
but from
Oh,
cute.
that
so
to now,
special.
It's like the
yeah.
little
Well,
napkin
I
contract.
mean, it gives me a little
Yes.
bit of goosebumps to kind of talk about that moment, Stacey, because it was a bit of a dream for you,
Mhm.
and there were a lot of like non-believers
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
event, and I mean, it's just spiraled, and every year it just keeps evolving and it keeps growing, and it is definitely something that the community looks forward to on the calendar, specifically women who are participating. So I would, guess that you're very, very proud, and it's definitely a special event for her. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely is, close to home, and I'm very happy. And when I hear, uh, you know, crazy things, like people are like, "Oh, I just wasn't sure the first year. I didn't know what it was going to be about." And like Cindy made a post this week, like she was like, "I wasn't sure. I just pulled the doubles," and then, oh my God, it's less like enlightening. Like it's just a lot of good people, right? Like we're all there. I mean, we're all there just to support and obviously to bowl well and compete, but
Mhm.
it's a different atmosphere. And it takes all of us to put, like everybody's hands are in the pot. I mean, usually when you walk in, if I'm not like saying, hey, I need you for something, like I have no problem grabbing everybody, but it's been a really good success, and I think it's just going to get better. I think it's good that we have these young girls, that's for sure.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about this year's event. What are the dates? What's kind of going on with it right now?
We are June 6th to 8th. We had to kind of shuffle because everybody kind of shuffled the schedule up again this year. I mean, it was kind of nice to have in April last year with Easter being in March and a lot of the opens going off early, but it's too busy for myself and committee and Toppler to go into like busy season. So back into June. So June 6th through 8th, Friday, regular shift at 1:00. We have the 5-Pin Universe is our sponsor this year for the doubles on the Friday night. That is full. We were doing 32 teams, up to 40 teams. So we have a few teams still on the wait list, but that filled right away. And
That felt so fast.
I would love to go to 48, but that really hits close to my capacity. And I'm a pretty good stickler for the capacity. And that would mean like literally nobody else could come in the bowling alley. So, so 40 is what it will stay at. And Katie can only pour that many glasses of champagne too. So
I'm an expert champagne pourer.
So, and then we have Saturday morning at 9 and Saturday afternoon at 2:30, but they're looking really, really good. I have to have a huge shout out here to Amanda Howlett Long. She has signed on the committee with me this year. I've been working hand in hand with her for about a year and a half with the SATE and the Capstone projects. And we've had 2 or 3, I think, now done on the Diamond Ladies, and it's just getting better and better. So I just mentioned something. She's like, oh, here you go. So I can tell you some numbers. We have entered right now. We have 70 scratch individual entries, 40 POA individual entries, and that is coming from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Northern Ontario, Southern Ontario, Quebec, and Newfoundland.
Amazing.
No way.
Oh, amazing.
This is the first year then that you will have representation from basically the entire country.
Yeah.
That's
like
fantastic.
That gives me goosebumps. Like this is like, and this isn't easy. I mean, a lot of these people or women a lot of people play both the Open and Masters, and we're kind of throwing this right in between. And Open and Masters both being out west this year, it's a little bit more difficult for the people that are coming east, right? So
100%.
I appreciate that they're willing to come out here and give us a chance and see what it's about. And maybe it can expand and go to a different province.
Yeah. This is a total like Field of Dreams moment. Like if you build it, they will come. They're coming.
I know. I need more paperwork. I need more stats people. Just kidding. I don't. Rich and Sean they don't like when I step on their toes.
Yeah, they like kick people out of that back room. They got it handled.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of has their certain job that they're allotted to.
Yeah.
One of the big things with this event that you have worked really hard on, I know, is the sponsorships.
So we're very lucky again to have Venom Industrial Inc. and Rhonda McDougall as our title sponsor. I mean, Rhonda always generously steps up for Diamond Ladies, always has, and we thank her so much because really without her, it's a different looking tournament, I believe, right? I mean, I go out and we get to other sponsors, but Rhonda really steps up, and I mean, Rhonda got jackets for everybody, and she kind of does her own mini Venom Industrial Inc. inside of the Diamond Ladies. So I love Rhonda, and I appreciate everything that she has done, and she, is my good little check-in point for a lot of stuff too. So
for sure.
The other sponsorship, I guess we just put it out, the sponsorship packages. I have a few, we have our regular sponsors that will be back every year that I will put out a big sheet for that. And then we have a few private sponsors already. So it's looking pretty good. I mean, I haven't, because we're not going till June, I haven't really done a whole lot yet because, as you guys know, January and February are a little busy
Wild.
for bowling.
Yep.
So
100%.
once I get back from Regina, I'll start putting out some more feelers and some more information and some more thank yous. But it looks really good. I'm not concerned. I'm actually really excited about what's to come. And yeah.
Yeah. And if anybody is still interested in sponsoring, I know Stacey
Mhm.
hasn't started kind of like reaching
Yeah.
out to people or anything yet, but this is kind of the sponsorship packages and how it's laid out. And with representation from coast to coast, sponsorship can come from anywhere. And it is a good way to generate business and to get your name out there as well. So if there's anybody who's wanting to sponsor, I'm sure Stacey, you can send her a DM, slide into her DMs, and she'll love that.
I definitely love that. But yeah. The only, I mean, I think I have a few notes. The thing, the merch store that BPG does, that'll probably, I mean, I haven't really pushed Mark, or we just talked about it briefly, so probably mid-March, later March. I am looking to do like a 2025 shirt. Like I think we should add like specific kind of
Years
shirts.
and things.
No, kind of what that is not my forte. Organizing and paperwork, girls, that is for me. But being like, design and that stuff, that's not for me. So if anybody out there wants to throw something out there, they can. And Amanda really thinks we could put together a silent auction this year. So we're going to look at doing something like that as well.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I had one more question, but it just like, as soon as I said that, it's gone. It'll come to me.
You're in all the
Formats and
shit.
things.
You're in the doubles. I got you.
Yeah, I'm signed up. Thankfully, Michaela already reached out. She's like, "Okay, are we doing this?" So I didn't have to worry about it. It was nice. Formats, are you going to keep kind of the same as last year? Top 32, all of those things?
24.
24, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I would love to be 32, but I think we have to at least get over the 100 mark.
100%. Yeah.
And we could, I mean, we have 70 individual entries right now. It might, it could work. So keep that in mind when you're booking your flights, if you're planning on leaving Sunday night, because it will run a little longer if you're going the whole way. But yeah, I'd love to be 32. I mean, like our board's already, it's always set up for 32. So if we can get, and it's kind of like the week of kind of call that we say, okay,
based
this
on
is
numbers,
what we're looking at, right? So, but it would be a dream come true if we could get to 32.
So it's time to sign up, ladies. If you're looking for how to sign up, it was posted on Facebook. Most likely you probably follow someone who has shared the post, but it's on the Diamond Ladies Facebook page if you're looking for the link, or you can go to the Diamond Ladies website and there is all the sign up information you need. If you're not sure if your entry went through, there is a Google Doc that has all of the entries in it, so you can check to make sure your entry made it in. But already great numbers, being like still 5 months away.
Yeah. But like how, it's just heartwarming. Actually, makes it easy for us to put it together, and I superly look forward to it. My staff really looks forward to it. Like it's like they ask, and it's the younger guys, and they're like, "Oh, are you doing that tournament again, Stacey?"
Of course we are. They love it. It's a bowling alley full of ladies. What's not to love?
Yeah. That's true.
They probably fight to work that weekend.
They have a choice. They all work that weekend.
That's fair.
Right.
Fair. All hands on deck. But
yes.
thank you so much for making some time to come in. I know you're leaving for Regina first thing in the morning, but to give us kind of a little rundown of where things are at. And it sounds like the ball is rolling.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you for supporting us and, giving us those shout outs there. It gets across and hopefully we'll get that 100 and we'll get to that 32. I think that's our goal this year. Let's make that our goal this year.
That should be 30 more is nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
We can
early
give
seeding,
people a push.
Giving some early seeding, I think, is really, really, really important.
Yeah,
So
100%. Well, good luck in Red Deer. Are you
Regina
throwing Regina?
Red
Are you
Deer.
throwing a shift
tomorrow, hopefully.
tomorrow?
But the way that the planes are going in and out right now is that,
Oh,
whatever, could be bowling on Friday.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be anytime.
Yeah. It'll be a good time no matter what.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much again, Stacy, and we
Thank
will
you.
talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good evening, girls.
Good night,
Bye.
Stace.
Good night.
Amazing numbers already coming into that event.
I'm not surprised, honestly. And I think as people look at their calendars and, get some of these big events under their belt just to find the capacity to go and join for the weekend, I think would, obviously be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. We are going to switch gears a little bit and go to a tournament that just happened over in Ontario.
Yeah.
The Timmins Invitational took place this last weekend. It was massive numbers. It was
Yeah.
astronomical, but we're going to bring in 4 of the ladies who played in that event. So we're just going to bring them in. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How's it
Hi.
going?
Hello.
How is everybody doing coming back from a bowling weekend?
Tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a good high to it was incredible. It was a good weekend.
Yeah. So we'll just take a second to kind of, there might be people out there who are unsure of who some of you are. I know some of you are a familiar face on our show, whereas others this is first time. Andrea, do you want to just kind of give a little quick intro as to who you are?
Yeah, my name is Andrea. I'm actually live in Timmins, so I didn't have to travel for this tournament. And yeah, it's my second year doing the tournament.
Second year. Amazing. And Renee?
I'm Renee. I'm from Sudbury, and I've been going to Timmins, I think, off and on since 2010.
Chantal?
I'm Chantal from Quebec. I've been going to Timmins, I think, the last few years. I don't know how much time I went, but I've been there.
Been there a few times.
Been there a few times, yes.
And Natalie?
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm from Sudbury. Been going to Timmins for a while as well. I want to say at least since 2016, 2015. So I've been going for a while.
For sure. So this year's event, like I was just telling Tracy, was wild when watching the stats from home, watching people throwing qualifying shifts, being like, oh, that should be great. And it's nowhere near the cut. What was going on in Timmins? Was it just fantastic pinfall or
The pins was insane.
Bouncy pins.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
The best way I can describe it.
Yeah. It was
Stuff was
crazy.
bouncing everywhere.
Yeah. I've never seen it like that. Never.
Me neither.
No.
And sometimes you even have to throw a strong, hard ball, and you still got the incredible, insane breaks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, it was never like this last year.
Oh God, no. Oh no.
I've
no.
never. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to joke with people who bowled out of Timmins that they didn't know how to pick corner pins because they never left any. Back in early 2000s, when pinfall was absolutely phenomenal. This was nuts.
exceeded that?
Yeah.
Just nope,
I
unexplainable.
Yeah, I think out of all the club tour, this is the highest the cut ever in any club tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So in looking at the numbers here, cut this year 2171. So 271 average, I think, was Greg DeGrazia final qualifier.
Just made the cut.
Just made the cut. And I'm pretty sure he was sitting on that shift just hoping, and somebody passed him, somebody else came down and ended up working out for him. But you guys played fantastic. So when we look at your numbers, Natalie, you shot 1887, which is a great score. Andrea, you shot 2101, 261 average. Renee, you were super close to making the cut, 2120 with a 265 average. And Chantel, you were one of the 2 females that made the cut. So you shot
Girl
2271,
power.
averaged 281 over your 8 games to make it. And then Natalie from
Yep.
Quebec,
Yeah, Nathalie Parra.
she,
Paraya.
yeah, 2243 for a 280 average. So like huge scores coming out of there. You, Chantel, had like a fairly deep run as well. A side lost out on the first round, and then B side made it all the way to the 4s.
Yes, it was it was a really good tournament for me. Like I'm not like one to shoot high like 21s or low like 22s. So when I shot my 2271, I impressed myself as well. But again, like the pinfall was like absolutely amazing, right? But yeah, it was stressful, but like I managed to like keep it like shot per shot instead of like saying, okay, well he's got like this and I have this. If I shoot this or if he shoots this, like I basically like just like concentrated on each single shot, which I've never done before. I used to always overthink and analyze everything because in life that's what I do. I always overthink everything and analyze everything. But like this time, like I said, okay, like, you know what? If you want to make it, you have like to concentrate on each individual shot, and that's what I did,
And execute.
it got me there. Yeah, execution is important.
Yeah.
I think, well, too, like when you start getting some breaks, regardless of the pinfall that was there, when you start getting a few breaks, I think mentally you start to relax a little bit. And I don't know, you just get more in like this mojo mindset, I guess you could say. And so it's amazing that you guys were able to kind of, grasp onto that, take the opportunity. The pinfall was what it was, like that was just the way that it was.
Yeah.
And it's really good that you had the opportunity to experience some of those breaks to kind of keep the momentum, because I think sometimes you get mentally sharper when you get a little extra breaks versus you feel like you threw a good shot, you leave a corner or chop, or you punch, but it didn't feel like a punch or whatever. So that's amazing that you ladies got to experience that over the weekend.
I felt like that was me for that day. I'd be on a roll and I'd get an 8. I got a lot of 8s. Then I would get another roll. I wasn't getting anything sparable to keep my momentum going. So it was like,
right. That's when it's hard. It gets harder when that happens, right? So anyways, beautiful bowling.
So when we look at, like, obviously this tournament, it was a tough go around in the sense, like, it was an easy go around in the sense that it was great pinfall, but then a tough go around that everybody was having great pinfall, making it that much harder to make the cut. Was there any kind of like moments or takeaways that you could use moving forward into some of your other events from that? Andrea?
I'm not sure. Like, even I bowl out of Timmins, and I was surprised by the pinfall itself. And like they were saying, like the splits and whatnot, like I get those all the time. Like 12s, I always get those. I was very surprised by my own game. The only thing I noticed is I had to change the way I bowled, or like how I hit my spot according to where I was on the lanes. So like further up the lanes, my spot was different than as I went down the lanes, like further down. That's the only thing that I really noticed. Yeah, I had to change it up.
Yeah. Natalie, was there anything that you kind of took away from the weekend? Oh, your mic is not working. Let's see why. Oh, try again.
It's on for me. Can
There
you
we
hear
go.
me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I find I have to have more confidence in my ball. Just stick with it and keep going with it, even though when I was struggling, just keep fighting. It will break. And I find that sometimes when I was struggling at some games, I over adjusted sometimes, trying to figure it out. So I gotta less is more in a way. So overall, I'm happy how I did. You know, always next year.
For sure. Sometimes it's hard, like when the pinfall is so good, because it's so easy to overthink the adjustments. Like if you start not getting the breaks that were happening, and it's like, well, I need to change something, but instead of
Yeah.
just trusting the execution on the shot.
Well, I think too, like I know a few of the ladies here really, really well, and we've talked a lot over like several podcasts about high expectations and the high expectations that we put on ourselves. And so did you feel like, you know, that you had higher than average expectations? I mean, I know some of you are very, very driven, and, you know, you always want to win. You always want to, you know, do your best and stuff like that. But did that change for you in Timmins at all? Were those expectations there?
They were, right? Like especially in the high roller, there is not a lot of female bowlers in the high roller, so you always want to show up, right? I played twice in the high roller. One year, like I came dead last, and like last year, like I think I came at the bottom. So like this year, like I just said, like yeah, like you know what? I don't care about anybody. I'm just me. I'm just me, and I'm just gonna bowl my game. I don't care. I'm like who's playing. Like a bowler's a bowler. A guy or a girl, a bowler's a bowler. So, like my expectations were still there, but not as high as the previous like years. Like oh my god, I'm the only yeah, I'm like female. Like I have to represent. Like and then I shit the bed, pretty much. So, sorry for the language.
It happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
And yes, it does happen. So.
Yeah. Renee, did you feel your expectations were kind of met this weekend?
I mean, you know, I had a decent set. That, you know, the number I usually set, just like historically based on where the cut line has been in Timmins, is my set that I want to throw is about a 2150.
Right.
I wasn't far off. It wouldn't have been enough either way. But, you know, I had a couple things that I did to myself, which kind of affected things. But, you know, I don't necessarily think the expectations were like super high. Like, obviously, I usually bowl well in Timmins, so I want to, you know, throw decently. But there's no kind of set in expectations for what the pinfall was this weekend.
Yeah.
It was just more insane than I've ever seen it. And I bowled there yearly, sometimes twice a year, because that's usually where a Masters year end is, every third year since 2010. So it's hard to feel like your expectations are met when the pinfall is that crazy. But, you know, I definitely wasn't unhappy with my set. It just, you know, you can always look back on a set and see the issues and the places where, like, oh man, if I had spared that, I had a lot more in that game. And you can always see how many pins are left on the deck at the end of it. But, you know, having a 265 average for a set, I think most people would take that any day of the week. In this case, it just happened to not be enough.
Women thriving in the sport, though, and you know, it's just like every time we have these podcasts, and you ladies are going to these, you know, cash events and, you know, national events through some of the big associations. Like we're just seeing like higher participation. We're seeing, you know, women make cuts all the time, and we're thriving right now. So, I mean, I think it's really important to still have and strive, having like strong goals and, you know, striving to have strong expectations, even though sometimes you might feel like you're shitting the bed. We also have to be like kind to ourselves. And I know, like Chantal, we've talked about this a little bit, like we have to give ourselves a little bit of a hall pass when it just doesn't always, you know, we have moments of these peaks where you have longevity and you're at the high part of the sport. And then, you know, we have moments where we, you know, take our shoes off at the end of the event. And, you know, unfortunately, you're, you know, going for dinner and you didn't make it. You know, you're having a, you know, stiff drink. And, but the fact that we just keep putting our shoes back on, we keep showing up for each other. I think, it astonishes me in terms of the progress that we've made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My shoes have been put in timeout so many times this season.
So mine
already,
are in timeout. They're literally in timeout.
They're walking a fine line of whether or not they're coming out of timeout.
Yeah,
pretty
are we
quickly.
retiring or are we not retiring? Anyway, all good. But I'm happy to see that you guys are thriving.
So, Chantal, we know you come out west quite often, WCBT events and lots of things out here. Andrea, Natalie, Renee, like any plans to come out to any of the Western tournaments in the next little while?
I
would
think
like
about it
to.
every once in a while.
I think about it, but I would have, if I want to do it one year, I'd have to save up for sure.
Right. The cost is a lot. Like all of these events, and there's every year there's more and more events, more and more travel, open and masters and all of the other things. So it definitely is one of those things you kind of have to pick and choose what to play.
And unfortunately for like Nat and myself, we're out of Sudbury. Our airport is shit. So we have to drive to Toronto to catch a flight out west, or we tack on an additional $400 to a trip to fly into Sudbury. So it definitely affects the feasibility of it. I've mulled over going out for like TPC or Diamond Classic. I've thought about a couple times. Just schedule wise, I haven't been able to make it work, but I'm hopeful that one of these times I will be able to.
For sure.
And for me as well, I don't know about anybody else, but I just don't think I'm at the caliber yet to do those tournaments yet. Personally, I don't think I'm there yet.
I love that you put the word "yet" in that statement. And as a teacher, I've said it to my class so many times that there's so much power in the word "yet." And that even if you don't feel ready right now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be ready at some time.
I want to do more cash tournaments. I find if I do more, I'll get more improved and better. But
100%.
I'll get there.
100%.
That's my goal.
Absolutely.
Andrea, what about you? Oh, sorry.
I agree with Nat too. Like, I don't think that I'm at that point yet, but I'm also like not that far out of YBC. Like, I'm just starting my adult career, so yeah, I'm enjoying it though. And I like the Timmins is where I'm from, right? So it's convenient for me. But
100%.
yeah, I've been enjoying it.
For sure.
Part of the process, I think, at any like age or any like level is like we've seen like so many women just like thrive right out of like YBC, really successful in YBC, maybe take a little bit of time off because they're focused on university and maybe their career path, and then they come back. We've seen women who have like struggled just playing like recreational league and then just decide, oh my God, I've just enjoyed, being part of some of these things, whether it's teaching masters and then, they graduate to tournament masters. I mean, I'm a perfect example of someone who never made my first masters team for 8 years, coming out of, YBC, and the Open, I think, was nine years. So it was slow progression for me, but obviously Alberta is like really, really, really tough to get out of. But then once it just seemed like for me that I got like moving, like going, then the momentum didn't stop. So I mean, we've got so many examples right now of people that are working really, really hard on their game. And even some of the most tenured and experienced women in our game continue to like learn and evolve. They're constantly, we're always constantly talking about what we're learning and how we're changing our mindset. Just because that's what we need to do for the moment in our game. And I would, softly, challenge all of you to like continue down that path. And eventually I think you're just going to really surprise yourself. And some of you have already, achieved some great moments, but for those of you who are still, not maybe seeking 100% of the confidence, like just keep building, and you'll have plenty of moments to, enjoy the game and the friendships and the sport.
Yeah. And the more positions you put yourself in, the more opportunities you play in, the more experiences you get, you're going to pick something up from each and every one of those. And every time you play against someone, they bring something else to your toolbox to bring into the next event, right?
Yeah.
So it just keeps you moving forward.
It's true.
Yep, it does.
Well,
Congratulations, ladies.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much for taking some time to come and chat with us a little bit.
It was fun.
You're welcome.
It was fun to hear the insight of the insiders who were there of how,
Yes.
how things were in
Yep.
Timmins.
Oh,
It was a
Yeah.
trip, man.
It was
crazy.
You had to be there, Katie,
Yeah,
to see the.
Uh,
You had to be there. Like, it
Maybe
was
next
insane.
year. Maybe
Oh,
next
yeah.
year I'll
Oh,
be
man.
there.
I remember talking with Al, and he was like 2164 won't cut it. I'm like, come on, it's 2164. It will. Like don't worry. And yeah, no, it didn't. I was like, oh my god, I never seen
I
it
went
like
to
that.
bed
I'm
and
sorry.
I was in
Like-
18th, I think, after the Friday morning shift, and people were like, "You bowling again? You bowling again?" I'm like, "No, I have a thing. I only bowl once. Like, I'm not doing this again."
One and
I
done.
looked at the standings after the first shift, and I was like, "Shit, I'm in 32nd. Like, maybe I am bowling again. I got to try."
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah. It
fun.
was
But
crazy.
yeah, it was crazy.
It was fun, but it was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we will see you all at events in the near future. And thank you guys
I'll
again.
see you 4 in a month for Buddhas.
Yes.
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 And we will talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Have a good night,
ladies.
guys.
All right. And now we get to kind of move forward a little bit. Another event that
Yeah.
hasn't happened yet, but with some of our newer talent coming into the scene. So we are going to pull them in here. My water bottle's in the way. I can't see what I'm looking at. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
First off, huge congratulations to all of you. You all are heading to Youth Challenge Nationals in Calgary, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yay.
Calgary. Tracy, in your backyard.
Yes, that is in my backyard. I'm like, where do I live?
Where am I from again? We'll just take a second and maybe you guys can just introduce yourselves and give us a little bit where you're from, maybe your Youth Challenge kind of background. Is this your first nationals that you're going to for Youth Challenge? We'll go from there. Raven, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Raven, obviously. I'm from Port Elgin, Ontario. Last year was my first Youth Challenge Nationals experience, but this is going to be my first time traveling out of province for any nationals, actually. So I'm really excited. It'll be a really cool experience.
That's awesome. So you were part of the virtual one last year then?
Yes. Yeah.
Virtual online. Nice. Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa. I'm from St. John's, Newfoundland, and this is my 4th youth challenge, which I started off back when I was in Calgary. And
Nice.
yeah.
Amazing. Maddie?
Hi, I'm Maddie. This is my first YC Nationals. And I live in Camrose, Alberta.
Amazing. And Kayleen?
Hi, I'm Kayleen. I'm from Thunder Bay, Ontario, and this is my first Youth Challenge Nationals, but I've had plenty of YBC Nationals experience, but it'll be different for sure.
For sure. It's kind of nice. There's a couple like newbies to the scene, and then like Vanessa, you've been there a few times. Are you looking forward to the event?
Yeah, definitely.
You guys
My
all
very first gold medal in YBC, Vanessa, was in St. John's, Newfoundland. So I feel like you and I are bonding already quickly because of where you live. It was my only YBC medal, actually, and it was my last year of YBC. I think, it is kind of neat to have you guys on this podcast, honestly, because I can feel the immediate excitement and energy and just like the youthfulness of being able to thrive in a sport that I'm sure all of you love. I'm particularly attracted to those that actually have some banners hanging up in their rooms. They've got their gold medals and they've got some banners in the background. So obviously, you guys, good luck to you in Calgary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sometimes that's like the piece that I feel like we miss in the adult tournaments is just like that excitement to be there, right? Like
it's just different, I think.
It is.
It's different as you, I think, move through the age of bowling and stuff. And I would just say, like, there's still like lots of fun moments that you have if you've been in the sport a really long time. But I can immediately feel the energy from all of these women, like just like so excited and so young. Like it's just so young. So it's fun. So
let's just take a little step back and go into Youth Challenge Provincials. So that kind of happened at different times for all of you. But what was your goal going in? Was there a moment where you were at Provincials and you were like, this might happen this year. I might be able to make it. Kayleen?
So I'd say my goal was just to average around over 220. And I got there and I didn't expect to get first, but I did. And no, I'm like really proud of myself, especially because like Jordan and Izzy, like they're all gone and so, but Northern Ontario isn't the worst to get out of, but it's still challenging. Course.
Still challenging and still like to finish first in any zone is always an accomplishment in itself, right? And like I never made a youth challenge nationals in all of my bowling career. So like it's always something to celebrate and to be proud of for sure.
Agreed. Yeah.
Maddie?
I didn't really have any goals. I was just more focused on having a good time with my team and being there to support my team. And when I found out that I got first, I was so shocked and overwhelmed with happiness. Like I didn't know like how to feel. When I threw my 333 or whatever, I was extremely proud of myself because this is the first year that I've been able to throw 300s. So it was just like, it was a great accomplishment to be able to do that, but I didn't expect to take first, let alone even make nationals.
I love that. Vanessa?
I didn't really have a goal. It was just kind of like go in, bowl the best. Like we weren't bowling at like a really easy center either. So I was just like, if I can throw well, pick up my spares and everything, like I should just be fine.
For sure. And was there like a moment, did you have a big game in there that kind of kept you near the top or?
I started my first game off like really bad, and then I ended up finishing with like a 294. So that was my highest game of the whole 5 games that we had. But it was just kind of like consistent. Other than my second game. My second game is out the window. But like
we don't talk about your second game.
No.
Fair. And Raven?
My goal is honestly just do the best I can. Obviously make the top 3, but honestly just do the best I can with my team. My team was basically the same girls I have last year, so I love them. They're so fun to bowl with, so I just wanted to go have fun with them, bowl the best we could. But yeah.
And did you have like a big game?
I didn't have really any like remarkable big games. It was kind of just consistent until the end.
Fair.
Didn't really finish well, but
Question for each one of you, like why bowling? Like why did you get started in bowling? Was it family that introduced you? Was it bring a friend to a bowling event? Did you go to a bowling party? Like what was it? And honestly, how long have each one of you been bowling? So maybe we'll start with Kayleen.
So my mom put me into like bowling when I was 4 years old, and then I think just from then, like it was league, and then I think after my first nationals, I just really got into it, and then went to provincials, and then just like all the people that I met, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for bowling, and it's just there's so much to it, and yeah.
That's awesome. How about you, Maddie?
Well, my mom bowled, like, she did her YBC year. So when she had me, I basically, like, she just put me right into it. I was familiar with all these people because they've all known me forever. And I just, like, I really enjoyed it. Like, I haven't stopped. I started at 4 and I just never stopped. I just kept going.
Vanessa, same thing?
I kind of just like my mom took me to a bowling alley and just I really liked it my first time. So she was like, she just kept bringing me to the bowling alley and she noticed that there was YBC on the go at Plaza. And so she was like, I'm going to sign her up and see how this goes. And then years went on. I was eligible to go to YBC and I didn't really know what singles was at first until I made doubles. And then after my doubles experience at nationals, I realized what singles was. And I was like, I'll give it a crack at singles. And ever since, I've just been in it ever since my first YBC nationals.
Amazing. How about you, Raven?
Well, my dad actually owns the center I'm in right now. So I've kind of, always grown up with bowling. I've been bowling since I was able to, walk. But yeah, I've just always stuck with it. It's always been basically like my whole life. So yeah.
Second home.
How about you, Katie? I bowled with your mom, Katie. Like, so when did you, like, I bowled with Katie's mom. That's in YBC. So
You did bowl with my mom.
Yeah.
I started YBC when I was 2 because both my parents bowled, and so I wanted to go in and bowl as well. And they put me in like the little YBC league as soon as I was old enough to go in, and it took me about 5 frames before I realized that I could throw the ball directly at the bumpers in the gutter and watch the
Yeah.
ball go back and forth. So my mom made them take the bumpers away from me at 2 years old. And then I just like never left. I threatened to quit all the time, but here I am.
I was also one of those ones who never left, started at 5 as well. And here we are, like,
Just kept
50 some
going.
years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Your family was also a bowling family, though.
my family was a bowling family. Yeah. And yeah, just easy, right? To take back then, no offense, you could go to bowling for $5 and go up to the bakery and grab a Danish. And I just felt like as kids, that was the best thing ever, right? Like,
Best ever.
yeah.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys of just what is it about like the competitive side of bowling that just keeps you coming back for more? Maddie, what do you like about the competition?
It's really just a challenge and being able to, like, push myself against all these other amazing bowlers and being able to, like, beat them is just such, like, an accomplishment. It's like a great feeling and I just don't know how to explain it.
Amazing.
Well, and
What ab-
probably tied a little bit to the friendship that
Yeah.
you're making, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Vanessa, what about you?
I just like having a challenge, like when I'm sparring or in a league up against like the adult ranks. It's just like it puts me out for a challenge, and they're people that I don't usually play, and anything can go either way. So it just pushes me to bowl my best.
Nice. Raven?
I think it constantly pushes me to, want to be a better bowler every time I go to a tournament. I always just want to be the best I can be. It pushed me to, constantly set new goals for myself every time. And I really like that. I love the competition.
Yeah. And Kaylee?
It's like the nerves of going into like a tournament, not knowing where you're gonna end up or anything, and then just setting goals for myself and just keeping myself together.
Yeah. Show with a thumbs up who is going to continue bowling when they graduate YBC and join an adult league. Wow, Maddie, you were quick on the draw on that one.
Love.
Look at the fireworks going off. You must be on a Mac, right?
I'm on my iPad, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So on an Apple product sometimes when you do that. That was like a celebratory. I'm going to do
Awesome.
it. I love that. Before we let you guys go, we have a little like would you rather with a couple of questions that we wanted to ask you. So some of them are bowling related, some of them are not. So like, would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping?
Skydiving.
Skydiving?
I think, yeah, skydiving.
I think bungee jumping.
I say
I feel like that'd be
skydiving.
really cool.
Yeah. Tracy, what about you?
Neither.
Neither?
Neither an option. I won't. I mean, unless you pushed me,
Yeah.
you'd have to push me.
I have
How
done
about you?
both. I've done
Wow.
both.
No.
I loved bungee jumping. Like skydiving was great. I loved it, but like I really enjoyed bungee jumping. Okay, this one's like more of a bowling related question. Would you rather stick and fall on the lane, like get a foul, stick, fall, or hit a lane guard very loudly? And this might be like aging ourselves with the lane guards by putting this one in here, but like it makes a really loud noise and everybody stares at you.
I've done
hit a lane
both. I've done both.
Stick and fall.
I'd probably
Stick and
stick
fall.
and fall.
Yeah.
I've done it before, so
I do it like twice a year.
The stick and fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it at Sherwood Bowl. They find the video footage and put it all over the internet. Maybe that's just when I do it, but Kayleen, what would you rather?
I'd say hit a lane guard. It's too embarrassing when I just fall. Just everyone sees.
Yeah,
No.
that is fair. That is fair.
I mean,
Would you
Katie,
rather? Oh, sorry.
Like, what would you say yours is when you like run back and you trip on your own feet?
I
Does
mean,
that count
like,
as stick and fall, or what is? Where does that
yeah.
fall?
I
for
mean,
you?
I end up on the ground at least once every tournament. So, I mean, that one to me is just second nature. So I probably pick that one. Hitting a lane guard loudly, everybody in the bowling alley looks at you. At least I've learned how to fall quietly, so only the people in my immediate vicinity notice it's happening.
Fair.
Would you rather never wear deodorant or never use toothpaste?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
It's a
Deodorant.
hard one. Never, yeah.
Because like you have perfume and everything, and you could use perfume to make you.
Yeah.
I would say
That's true.
toothpaste because you can use mouthwash, you can use gum, like there's other alternatives.
That's what I was gonna say.
Tracy, what would you pick?
I think I would say never use toothpaste. Like, they're both bad, honestly.
They are both bad. I think I'm really selfish, and so I would say never wear deodorant because that's an other people's problem and not mine. I'm just kidding. I don't know which
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know either. I think I'd probably say never use toothpaste because there's
Yeah.
like gum and mouthwash and stuff.
Oh, bad. Gross.
A couple more here. Would you rather have unlimited battery life on your phone or have free Wi-Fi everywhere that you go?
Easy.
Free Wi-Fi.
I'd say
Free
battery.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'd say battery.
I would say battery.
Split. Katie, what about you?
Ooh, this is such a tough one. I would say probably the battery life because
Wow.
there's things I can do on my phone without Wi-Fi.
That's
Oh,
true,
but then there's things that I would want the Wi-Fi for. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is such a millennial question.
Right?
What would you pick, Tracy? Did you say the Wi-Fi?
I said free Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That one actually I think is probably better. But like what if your phone dies within 5 minutes and then the Wi-Fi does you no good?
I don't need my phone 100% of the
Portable
time.
charger.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You guys have good points. The Wi-Fi. Would you rather explore the ocean or explore space?
The ocean.
Space.
Space, yeah.
Tracy?
I think space.
Space.
Like, I have a great fear of water. So that's like, I'm not good
Fair.
in the water.
Yeah.
Even
I would
on banana
definitely-
boat rides. Like, I can't get nervous on banana boat rides.
I would probably say the ocean. Space confuses me. I'm teaching space to my 4th graders right now, and it's like the blind leading the blind up there. We're like, we don't know what's
Right.
going on. So, and the last question: would you rather throw a perfect game or win Youth Challenge Gold?
I'd say win Youth Challenge Gold.
Yeah.
I would say win Youth Challenge Gold.
Yeah, I would probably say the same thing.
Yeah. I would love to go back in time and win a youth challenge gold. Now, unfortunately, I only have one option left. So we'll see. Tracy?
I think I would like throw a perfect game.
Yeah. You can tell we're past that part of our like career, the youth challenge time. We're just old now and all we want is the perfect game.
Still
all we have left to
seeking
go for.
the perfect game. Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us today. It was so fun having you on, and good luck next month. It's next month, right? March?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck in Calgary.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I know
Thank you.
we will be watching the stats closely and rooting you all on, and hopefully you guys have tons of fun and take away a huge amount from the experience to carry forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thanks,
time,
guys.
ladies.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
All right. I always love when we bring like the youth players on because they just
too.
like spark that excitement again.
Yeah, there's a couple things like I'm like sort of at that angle where you just like you see how excited they are. They're very, giddy. There's lots of great energy. Mentally pretty mature when you like talk about like their goals and how they're thinking about their game, which I think is amazing. And then, you've got sort of that middle area of women who are still like building their confidence, have been in the game for a really long time, just trying to figure out like how do they build that up to get to the next level. And then I'm still amazed by talking like with really experienced, tenured, high achievement where they're still in this progression of like figuring out like what's next and how they're going to get there, even though they've already like achieved like great things already. Like, I'm just
100%.
astonished by it. And I think like I've been in that group a little bit as well. And to me, it's just being kind to yourself as you're kind of going through it all. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend coming up, we're probably going to see some more fantastic scores. Regina
Yes.
is this weekend. It
Yeah.
is typically a very high scoring center. Do you have a prediction of cut?
No, also a very typically high scoring house. I'm sure they're ready. You just never know if you're going to get a perfect game there. Like,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful center. So no, I don't have a prediction. No, not really. But do I hope everybody plays well and has a great time? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Will I be watching? Yeah. Well, I
Yes.
do like their format too, in terms of like how they share out their what am I looking for? Like video of people.
Yeah.
They're live streaming.
They
and
have like the
they're-
Nest cameras and stuff. I don't know if they
Yeah.
still have the Nest camera, but I think they still have the live scoring app for each lane.
It's interesting because like you can flip and then you can
Yeah.
watch somebody as they're kind of going and big scores and stuff like that. So I kind of always enjoy that from home, and it's been a long time since I've been to Regina. Like,
Yeah.
long
It's one
time.
that
Are
I
you-
haven't been to yet.
No,
No,
Are
I'm
you
not
this
going.
weekend? Yeah.
No, it's too tough of a time of year with school. Like we have teachers
Yeah.
convention at the end of the month. Family Day long weekend just happened, so it's kind of in the middle of those two. So it's just too tough to get away for this weekend. But one day, eventually, I will
Yeah.
try to get out there and see what it's all about. But I know they've had fantastic numbers out there. They've been doing lots of stuff on their social media, highlighting sponsors and highlighting the event. So I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic event. It always seems to run very
Yeah.
smoothly out there. So
Yeah, it's a favorite, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah.
be watching and cheering
Me
people on
too.
from my bed because that's what I
Yeah.
plan on doing. So
Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, that's kind of the end of our show. We have our next ladies podcast March 19th. I believe that's the third Wednesday of March. And good luck to everybody. Safe travels. I know there's tons of things going on with weather and snow and
Yeah.
everything going on with flights. So hopefully everybody makes it there safe and on time for their shifts. I saw a few people posting statuses saying, maybe I'll make it in time to bowl, and hopefully I'll
Yeah.
get there in time. So hopefully you all make it and play fantastic. And I can't wait to see how high the cut is.
Yeah, it'll be a good bowling weekend.
It will be. Other than that, I hope everyone has a fantastic time and they're staying warm. And we will see you in March.
Safe travels, everyone.